and welcome to my free 3-part series, How to Start a Senior Care Business. I'm Vicki McGrath, owner of Here to Help Home Care Services. I have been in a senior care business for 10 years and have helped hundreds and probably thousands of clients, families, and team members over the course of that time. And today is the first part of the 3-part training, how to get started with a senior care business. So when I started my senior care business, I didn't know anyone who was in senior care. I didn't even know anyone who was in a service-based business. So there wasn't really anyone that I could turn to for a better understanding of how to get started with my business. But what I did have was my own experience with the healthcare system and how the healthcare system was not really working for seniors here in Ontario, Canada. So let me tell you about that. My mom died from Alzheimer's disease, and her experience, end of life, was very difficult to watch. We allowed her to pass through the publicly funded healthcare system. My dad was her primary caregiver. He was caring for her, by her side, even in long-term care nursing home at the last minute of her life. He was there for her 16 hours a day. It was a very difficult time, and none of us, I have 4 brothers, so one of 5 kids, and my dad, of course, none of us knew how to do anything differently than what we were doing. There was no one to help us understand how this could have gone differently, how there could have been a better outcome. And so when that experience left my life, my mom passed, and she, was no longer part of our experience, I still thought a lot about how we could have done things differently, how we could have had a better outcome for my mom and my dad, how the care maybe could have been better or different. And so all of that thinking was really the beginning of how I could make a difference in the lives of others who were having the same experience with their loved one. And I'm sure this is exactly the case for you. You have had an experience with the healthcare system, and this is why you are here today thinking about senior care. It's certainly not everybody that thinks about senior care. You are a special person for being here. And so what my point is for all of this is the how is your experience, your desire to help people, and your interest in starting a business that solves a problem for someone who is very specific, right? We're very specific in who we are trying to solve the problem for. We have a very specific client in mind, right? It's me. It's you, probably, having had that experience with the healthcare system. We have a very specific experience around how we're helping that person. We're helping that person as they care for a senior loved one in their life who is in the middle of a health problem, a health crisis. Perhaps they're an end-of-life problem or in an end-of-life experience. And so we have a very specific person. We have a very specific circumstance, and we have a very specific outcome of what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to help people have a better experience with their healthcare system, with their healthcare outcome, with their health crisis. And how we do that is by starting a business that solves that problem for them. And it's very simple once you understand who it is that you're solving the problem for and what the problem actually is that you're solving. And so if you look at your own experience, if you look at how any experience with the healthcare system, it doesn't even have to be around seniors, but any experience with the healthcare system that was dissatisfying, that was something that you thought to yourself, gosh, there's got to be a better way, or this really, really sucked and I really want a different outcome for somebody else. If any of those things have happened, then you have the experience to start a senior care business. That's as simple as it is. It's a desire and an interest and an experience that you can bring to the table and use as your story around how you got started in senior care. It really is that simple. And of course, in the next video, I will go through the steps of where to find your ideal clients, and we'll get started on that next time I see you. Thank you.